Joining us now is Ojinika Ojiope with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinix.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, Oji.
Excellent coverage so far. Yeah. Well done, really. We're all excited. Some are not, but the results are coming in.
Breakfast.
Well, absolutely. Good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing the presidential and legislative elections that took place over the weekend. Many Nigerians have shared disparaging views about the elections, especially as it concerned violence at the polls. In Lagos State, some polling units were attacked by thugs who snatched and burnt down ballot boxes.
We are live here now. They just carried all our police units here. They carried everything and we left here. Everything. We are here. They snatched it. We are in Tulere, Aguda, local government, Aguda, Atakiele. They carried it. Atakiele. They don't carry everything. Atakiele, we are Atakiele. They carried everything right now. Everything. They carried everything and went out. They came with Korokwe and this thing.
Hey! Oh my God! What is wrong with this place? Hey! Oh my God! Stop it! Oh my God! Stop it! Stop! Is still intact. Oh my God.
You write a report? Yes. Well, in the meantime, Benjamin Hundeyin, the public relations officer for the Nigerian police, while responding to the viral video showing those police officers standing by while thugs disrupted a polling unit, in a tweet said, "What exactly did you want two unarmed police officers to do in this scenario?" Everyone agreed from the onset that armed officers will not be at polling units so as not to scare voters away while awaiting armed backup. They observed diligently. Dr. Abati, correct me if I am wrong. I believe this month, February 14th, I believe, Buhari unveiled this catchment of, ammunitions, riot squad gears, and they promised us that they were going to be there to secure the elections. We saw thugs running away with ballot boxes and police officers were just standing by. The polling units, everybody knew where the polling units were the whole time. Why weren't police officers, probably armed or not, deployed there to guard those units? This was just unnecessary. This ballot box snatching was completely unnecessary.
Well, let's even dial back. You recall that last year, President Buhari attended a police officers' retreat in Owerri, Imo State. And on that occasion, he promised that he will provide the wherewithal to make sure that the police will be able to discharge their responsibilities during this election. Then, of course, he charged them. He said what he expected from them was professionalism. And then on the occasion of the commissioning of this equipment being shown, facilities being shown on the screen, the president again reiterated his charge to policemen. We have also seen policemen practicing, telling us that they were getting ready.
Yes,
the Inspector General of Police, on more than one occasion, told us that they were ready and that they were prepared. In fact, the National Security Advisor and the Inspector General of Police on another occasion told us that the police would take the lead while other security agencies will provide support. But what would we see on election day, on Saturday? The policemen were either nowhere to be found or where they were available, right in the presence of the policemen. People were intimidating voters. Thugs were attacking voters. Thugs were cutting away ballot boxes. Thugs were collecting ballot boxes and setting them ablaze. And these policemen, nobody could find them. Where they were present, they became spectators. They were standing arm akimbo, just watching the violation of the rule of law. And these are supposed to be law enforcement officers. That is counter to all the promises made by the Inspector General of Police. That is, contrary to the professionalism that the President of Nigeria demanded of them. So Benjamin Hundeyin, spokesperson for the police, is now saying, what were they supposed to do?
I can't believe it.
No, they were supposed to go to polling booths and be taking photographs and be dancing. After Nigeria had bought them new uniforms.
Absolutely.
I saw some catering officers from the police force the other day.
Dr. Wati, they were not catering officers.
Who were doing parade. Where were they? New uniform.
Yes.
A lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised if they went to polling units with pepper soup and jollof rice and were distracted. ACP Odubono, the Assistant Commissioner of Police in Lagos, he was on this station. He told us that over 20,000 policemen have been deployed. But where were they? They were nowhere to be found.
Yes.
Are we surprised about the performance of the police? In fact, we should be shocked.
Absolutely.
Because in Kano, the police commissioner, when he was confronted with the fact that a young man, an underage child, was found with a voter's card, what did he say?
I'll let you know when
I
play that.
So this is not professionalism that the president wanted, and the president should ask the Inspector General of Police what happened to all the equipment that they collected. Absolutely. And what happened to the money.
Yeah.
Taxpayers' money.
Absolutely.
That Nigerian policemen collected.
Yes.
To ensure discipline in this election at the polling unit.
Absolutely. My question really is, how did thugs even get into some polling units? I'll let you know, some political thugs that were attacked or that attacked polling units were even said to have threatened voters who were not there to vote for their party. In Aguda Surulere, at a polling unit located at Feintola Giwa Street, a thug alleged to be an agent of the All Progressives Congress named Schoolboy asked voters that weren't voting for the APC to leave the polling unit.
If you don't vote APC for a year, go your house. Nobody force you come here. Go house, so if I see you vote another, I will come look at. If I see you vote another party, go ahead our house. You no come joke for here. This territory where you dey, na APC o. Go your house. Go relax.
Rufai, you saw that. That thug, people confirm that he's so popular in Surulere. He goes around with even armed police officers. People know who he is. How did he get into that polling unit?
OJ, I'm not surprised. Culture will eat strategy for breakfast. I've said that 1 billion times here. And that is what is happening. It is only in this country you see thugs have police protection. They are as big as the states themselves. It is a country of a lot of thuggery. Thugs are dominating. They lead while others follow. They do things and get away with it. They kill people and go scot-free. So we are not surprised. If a known thug can be going around with police escorts, what society are we living? And that's why when the police spokesperson said that very, very terrible thing, and please, they should never have repeated such a statement. Because that police officer could actually take on that person that came to steal the ballot box. That's an abdication of duty and responsibility. Who even trains these police spokespeople when they even talk sometimes? What happened to the glowing days of the likes of them Frank Umba as police spokesperson in Lagos? What temerity! The police officer could have taken on that man. You can see the citizens running after and catching the ballot box. And he said, what would the police officer have done? If he doesn't know what to do with Twitter, he should go and delete his Twitter account. Nonsense. What are we doing in this country?
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
Those are people that came out, stayed there for hours to vote. And you're saying what the police should have been done. If he doesn't know what to do with Twitter, he should delete his Twitter account and not even have a means of communication and just issue out statements. It's as simple as that. You can't have police abdicate responsibility. The police officer could have taken on those people and brought back those ballot boxes. But you left them there, you didn't say anything. I'm sure the police too will say, oh, they didn't see this person threatening fire and brimstone here. I'm sure they say they don't know him. They know him. If he's a popular talk, they should ought to have gone and arrest him by now. Absolutely. But they will also feign ignorance that they don't know him. Because why? We have seen on cameras how thugs now have police escorts.
Yes, we have.
In this country. So you see, it's now become a leadership of people that glorify thugs. Thugs are giving honorable mentions in party. Thugs are staying in Banana Island. Right. Thugs are becoming
It's unacceptable. There were so many stories coming out of this election. I'll take one more before I come to you. There were also reactions trailing reports of underage voters found casting their votes in some polling units, especially in the north. Videos of young voters showing off their voter cards were also captured in the east. In Kano State, a video of a young boy showing off his PVC made the rounds on social media. He was also seen with the new 1,000 naira note when the police commissioner in the state was asked why underage voters were found at the polling units. He said there was no way of telling if someone was a minor.
Yeah, we saw the massive presence of minors, children, obviously, from their look, indiscriminately unchecked at various polling centers. Couldn't this have been better organized to prevent minors from penetrating, from being part of this voting exercise?
It is very difficult to determine by mere appearance who is a minor or not. Most of the ones you are seeing, maybe they are genetic, their growth rate might be impaired. So I don't know. All those that you see voting, they are those that have been approved by INEC, and I cannot change it.
Well, this story is, we have to discuss it, but Dr. Bati, I believe we have some breaking news.
Well, it's there on the screen. Labour Party wins Lagos with 582,454 votes. We had reported earlier on that, out of the 20 local governments in Lagos State, Labour was, gaining more votes and was also contesting winning many of the local government areas.
Yes.
And we had Gbadebo Rose-Vival, gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party, on this program. And in fact, he was even saying that even with the excellent showing, with the good showing, I must say, of Labour Party in Lagos, that they were still contesting some of the results because their own tally is still, more than what has been announced in favor of the Labour Party. Yeah. Well, we see the electoral map in Lagos State changing gradually. Will this have implications for the gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections on March 11? Well, that remains to be seen. But definitely, Lagos State is one of the major battleground states in this election or any other election since 1999. Yeah,
you talked about the Labour Party challenging results. I guess I'll take this story because it tallies with the conversation, and then we'll come to you, Ayo. Well, as results began trickling in from the INEC Collation Center, the Labour Party has accused INEC officials, especially in Lagos, Edo, Rivers, and Imo states, of manipulating and manufacturing results following videos shared by supporters of the Labour Party showing the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, in the lead at their various polling units.
No structure! 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 247, 248, 249,
Well, all right. The record is there. I mean, most of those videos were, from supporters of the Labour Party in Lagos, and they were, sending out these videos on social media showing, where Peter Obi was in the lead at their various polling units. But we discussed two stories. One was the fact that there were a lot of underage voters. Some were found in the east, some were found in the north. Most were found in the north. There were also reports of people thumbprinting, in the north, children being made to vote. What's your take on that?
Okay, so there are many things that have come, responses from the assessment of these elections. A number of criticisms. In fact, we've had quite a full time this morning discussing and assessing INEC's conduct of this election, one of which, of course, is what you saw there, where we had underage voters who had PVCs. So let's say, for instance, they came to the polling unit and they were unable to vote or for some reason. But because they had their PVCs, it was quite a challenge because the Commissioner of Police himself said that they had PVCs and that he couldn't ascertain by just looking at them. So many criticisms trailing this, and of course that consequently meaning that parties were not confident in the results that came forward. So for instance, the Labour Party has come out, the PDP has criticized the fact that results were not transmitted to the IREF portal as promised by INEC prior to the elections. These are the big issues that have come forward. So even with this result from Lagos State, as Dr. Bati had talked about, there's a little over 10,000 margin between Labour Party and the APC. And the Labour Party members are saying they're rejecting it, that the margins are too small because they do not have confidence in what the final result was. So it's quite sad, and that's what's marred this elections.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to end what's trending with my submission on the electoral process of Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections. I watched as many Nigerians express frustration over what some have described as the worst election since Nigeria returned to democratic dispensation in 1999. One of many newspaper headlines the morning after read, "Violence, poor logistics, BVAS malfunction, ballot box snatching, mar polls." However, despite the frustration compounded by the naira and fuel scarcity, Nigerians turned out en masse to elect a new leader. Edifi Bina Jennifer, a female voter who many have described as the hero of the election, suffered facial injuries after being attacked by political thugs while expressing her voting rights at a polling unit in Surulere, Lagos. Despite her injuries, she forged ahead to cast her vote. While Edifi's attack was just one of many reported in Lagos and across the country. But what are the security agents saying? In Kano State, underage voting was reported, but the state's commissioner argued that there is no way of telling if a person is underage by their appearance, and that for all you know, the person may be stunted. Once again, INEC has fallen short of expectations. The commission had 4 years to plan this election. But what was observed was the reoccurrence of the failure many Nigerians have complained about. Elections did not hold in some polling units, and there were allegations that supporters of the Labour Party were deliberately disenfranchised by thugs mobilized to disrupt their stronghold in Lagos. There were complaints of many polling units that staff of INEC arrived late or were not even mobilized. At the end of the day, there were delays in uploading polling unit results for the presidential election on the INEC election results viewing portal, IREV. INEC's chairman held his last briefing on Sunday at around 6 p.m. Alas, there was no apology. Instead, results of the presidential election collated across the country were announced to the dismay of many. At a point, one party agent challenged the result announced as they did not tally with the results recorded at her polling unit. Here are my questions. Do Nigerians deserve a credible election? Did INEC conduct a credible election? Well, the answer lies with the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. Nigerians await. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.